Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about a big major lender that has cut mortgage interest rates. Now, interestingly enough, anytime we do a video about mortgage rates being cut, this lender is mentioned the most. It's the biggest, most common question from you guys. Has this bank cut rates? Well, today they have, and you're going to see a great drop. In fact, I'd say close to slashing the rates. It's really, really good. And this is happening because the market is quieter at the moment. I've talked about this on a number of videos. While new buyers are coming into the market, completed transactions are still down around 25% at the moment. And banks and lenders are trying to stimulate the market. Back last year in December 2023, the market cooled down significantly then as well. And so early this year, 24, we had lenders cutting rates in a price war. That got the market moving again. Once they got it moving again, everyone slowed down again. The rate cuts started to go back up. And then we got to a point where a lot of people that wanted to buy just had a wait and see approach. They wanted to wait for the election. They wanted to see what's happening with house prices. And they wanted to see the Bank of England cut rates. So, basically, when the summer started this year, lenders started to cut rates again to stimulate the market. And this lender has cut multiple times. So before we jump into this, as always, if you haven't done already, do subscribe to the channel over there and hit the bell notification. We bring rate cuts faster than the national news quite often. And we will also give you inside information on property investing and much more. And while you're here, smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button, guys. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm and that gets us more views. So thanks to everyone that does that. So who are we talking about? Santander. Maybe you guessed that. Maybe. So I don't know if this, the YouTube algorithm skew whiffs and there's just lots of Santander borrowers watching this. Maybe comment below. Are you someone that has a mortgage with Santander already? Do comment below because I get so many comments about Santander. They've committed to cut rates. The rate cuts will be online today and they're up to 3.2%. Now, there isn't specifics, but they have made it clear in the press release. They are going to cut buy-to-let rates. They're going to cut residential rates. They're going to cut first-time buyer rates as well. They're basically cutting all of their rates. And so if you already are a Santander borrower, it's easier to switch on to another one of their products. This is open for new customers and existing because some of the deals we talk about, often you guys will come back and you say it's only for new customers. This is for both, which is really positive to see. That's what we want to see. So what should you do in this market? Because most weeks at the moment, or sometimes multiple times in a week, I'm talking about lenders cutting interest rates. Well, inflation is something that's still around. And obviously that's something we've got to be mindful of at the moment. So when the inflation was 11%, the rates went up 14 consecutive times. Then we held for such a long time. We got to 2%. And then the 1st of August 24, the Bank of England finally went from 5.25 base rate to 5%, which was the first cut that we saw. But these rate cuts aren't really related to the inflation so much or the Bank of England rate. These are due to the fact that it's a price war between lenders because the market is quieter at the moment. You see, big banks like Santander, like HSBC and places like that, they borrow from bigger banks like JP Morgan and they borrow off something called the SONIA swap rate. And that has been moving on a downward trajectory as well. Because look, JP Morgan wants to lend more money to HSBC and then HSBC want to lend more money to you or to me. And so this is something that potentially could carry on. But I'm asked quite often in the comments as well, should I fix a rate now? Let's just say you've just come out of a deal or you're just coming out of some sort of fixed rate deal at the moment. What would I do? Well, what I would do is probably look at the market as a whole. I would always go to a broker. And so I would find a local broker to where you live. And I would ask that broker, do you have the whole market? Do you have all the deals in the market? And most will, right? Most will. And then see what deals he or she has got that fit your criteria. Then I would look to apply for a mortgage if I needed a new rate. And I would do it now. So right now, the best buy to let rate that I've seen is 3.49% with the Mortgage Works. And I've seen, I think NatWest is one of the big lenders, have the best rate on a 5-year deal is 3.77% out there. And that's on residential mortgages. So often you want to get the best deal. So have a look at those lenders if you can. And then you can fix that deal today. You can go through the process. And if they cut their rates significantly in the next week or so, again, and maybe that's why you're hesitant to fix a deal right now, speak to your broker as you're going through, but you can often switch on to that better rate as long as you haven't started the new deal, right? I've had that a couple of times, especially over the last 6 months. I've had one deal definitely where a better rate came along, we were going through legals, and the broker was able to move me onto that new deal, and they just changed the mortgage offer out for me because we hadn't completed yet, so that was important. Now, what would happen if you have a mortgage deal and that expires in, say, 6 months from now? Well, you can apply with your existing lender and new lenders, get a rate fixed, get a rate agreed. Let's just say you went to NatWest and you got this rate here agreed, but your deal doesn't come up until February or somewhere around then, right? You can agree that deal today. You can start working through all of that, get the legals done and all that kind of stuff. Especially if you're already with that lender, it's going to be a lot easier. And then should a better rate come along, because you haven't started the deal until February, you can switch on to that better rate. So let's just say NatWest drop rates to 2%. Unlikely. I'd love it if they did, but it's not likely. But if they did, because we go into a massive recession, unemployment's going crazy, then you can switch on to that deal as long as you haven't started the new deal. Now, let's just say you fix at 4%, because not all the deals are 3.77, depends on your equity, your credit rating and stuff like that. What about if you got a 4% deal and you fixed in for 2 years and then suddenly deals went back to 1%? Well, you can pay a penalty to leave a mortgage at any point. There will be some sort of percentage if you repay it early sometimes, and it's normally on a sliding scale, so the first year would be more, second year it would go down. Look at that as an option as well. Maybe it would be better in that scenario. I don't think rates are going to go ultra low like that quickly, but if they did, you can move on and come across onto a better deal. So look, the news today is Santander are cutting rates. A lot of you watching have mortgages with Santander, so this is good positive news. Go and check out what they are. Secondly, what you should do is probably look for a deal now, whatever your scenario is, as if you need a deal. Look for a deal now, fix the rate. If the rates drop before you start that new rate, you can change normally, but check with the broker and lender that that's an option for you. But at least you know your worst case scenario, because if inflation does come back up and rates go back up, which some people in the comments say that they will, you don't want to get caught thinking, I wish I fixed then. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, questions or opinions. Is there a lender that we should be checking out with better rates? Do comment below. Do like the video. Check out all the other content on my channel, including this video right here.